And we are back with the third segment of the GSMC Sports Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this third segment, we are going to talk about the possibility of Shedeur Sanders becoming the future quarterback of the New York Giants. This would be the first time that the Giants would end up starting and actually drafting a quarterback who is black. They're the only team in the NFL that does not have a colored quarterback that has had a colored quarterback starting. Every other team has seemed to already put a quarterback, like, it doesn't matter the skin color of the quarterback, obviously, but it's very interesting that the Giants are the only team that tends to have quarterbacks that have much lighter skin. Again, I don't really mean to offend anyone when I'm saying this, but I just think it's like a very, very interesting fact. But this could be the first time that the Giants end up drafting a quarterback like that. And I just wanted to bring that to attention because recently, and the reason why I say this. So first off, the Giants, as we know, they're absolutely horrible. They are a dumpster fire. There was a second plane that actually flew over MetLife Stadium once again and was trying to give a message to, I forgot exactly what the message was, but I know that another plane ended up flying over the stadium. And let me just see real quick just to make sure. Yeah, so the Raiders, they're going to play later today on Monday at 8:30. But as of right now, the Giants have the worst record in the NFL, and they have the number one pick in the NFL draft, which is good. Very, very good. And the fact that they have the number one pick in this draft it means that they're that much closer to drafting one of two quarterbacks, and one of those quarterbacks is going to be Shedeur Sanders. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up this topic is because recently there was I know the quality of this is very, very bad, but this was like a little screenshot of the video. There was a video of Shedeur Sanders in New York. This is New York, and that over there is Malik Nabers, the star, the beautiful wide receiver for the Giants. And they were throwing the football. Shedeur Sanders was throwing the football to Malik out in the streets. I don't know if this was a publicity stunt and like a media stunt from Shedeur to try and garner attention and things like that, but they were throwing the football to each other. And it had me thinking, does this mean we're going to go ahead and draft Shedeur? Does this mean the Giants are going to get Shedeur Sanders to be their quarterback? And the GM of the Giants, he ended up visiting a lot of Colorado's practices, and so it's I'm very intrigued to see like where exactly or what direction the Giants are going to go, because again, this is one of two directions. And Shedeur was also showing off the Giants logo on the football, which again could be a media stunt, could be where he wants to go. It's very unclear where Shedeur wants to go. Like, a lot of people, they speculate that he wants to go to the Raiders, and a lot of people also hope that he goes to the Giants. So it's really a toss-up between those two teams. And a lot of people, they think that if he doesn't end up that, Deion Sanders is going to play a part in trying to get him on the Raiders. Whether that's true or whether that's not true, I have no idea, but those are just some of the circulations going around. But it's either him or it's going to be Cam Ward. As we all know, Cam Ward, he was nominated for the Heisman, and he also had the Giants being mentioned. He also shouted them out. Not really shouted them out, but ahead of the Heisman Trophy ceremony, Cam Ward was asked why the Giants should consider drafting him, and he said, quote, "If Joe Schoen want to come get me, he knows what's best. The tape says it all. You're going to get a competitor out of me, the city of New York. I won't be in the city probably ever. I'll stay in New Jersey for all day, every day. It's too much out here. I'll just be vibing and trying to make some football plays for the Giants." So, beautiful statement. I wouldn't mind having either or at quarterback. I would prefer to have Cam Ward, honestly, at quarterback than I would Shedeur. But either or, I think, is just a very, very solid option. I mean, Cam Ward, as we know, he got nominated for a Heisman for a reason, and Shedeur didn't get nominated for the Heisman. His teammate ended up getting nominated for the Heisman. So that's no knock on Shedeur, because Shedeur had a great season too. But Cam Ward in this season, he comes from Texas, and he plays in the University of Miami, I should say. And he threw for 4,123 yards, 36 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions. He also was able to showcase his mobility, adding 196 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, which was slightly better than Shedeur. Shedeur, while I will say he is mobile in the pocket, and he is mobile like trying to navigate around, he's not a very good runner. And that's really that's one of the big difference makers between Cam and Shedeur Sanders, his ability to run. And I'm not entirely sure exactly what direction the Giants are going to be going towards, but Ward is going to learn which organization he'll be a part of on April 25th when the draft is going to happen. I really, 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 really hope it's the Giants. Again, I don't have any problem with drafting Shedeur, but I would much rather have Cam Ward. I think the reason why Shedeur gets a lot more attention and a lot more praise is because of his father. And I think Cam Ward is a much more talented quarterback. But again, I'm good. I'm good with either or, honestly. Let me know in the comments who you would rather draft. Would you rather draft Shedeur? Would you rather draft Cam? Or maybe not even go in that direction and maybe draft someone like Travis Hunter and wait until the Manning kid from Texas ends up being eligible for the draft, because that's also a possibility. I just want a quarterback right now. That's all that I want. That's all the Giants need. They need a quarterback now, and we'll see how this goes. But that's really going to be it for this third segment. It's going to be a little bit shorter because I want to save some time for the fourth and the fifth segment. So the fourth segment is going to be just recapping all of the NFL games that went down yesterday, and I'll be right back after this short break talking about them, so be sure to stay tuned if you guys are interested.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC. To access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.